Remember the witch doctor? Remember the man who said he was working on Harry Kane? Remember Nana Kwaku Bonsam sitting in his shrine in Ghana, telling the whole world that Kane would not score? And then Kane missed an open goal from 6 yards against Ghana, and the internet went insane. And Bonsam went on Facebook and said, "Mission accomplished." And then he said something nobody expected. "I am going to release Harry Kane. He will be free to score in his next match. We are brothers. I love him." And the whole world laughed. Because who releases a curse? Who puts a spell on someone and then lifts it on Facebook and says, "I love you"? But here is the thing. Bonsam lifted the curse, and Kane scored against Panama. And then today in Atlanta, against Dr. Congo, Kane scored twice. 2 goals. And with those 2 goals, he passed Pele on the all-time World Cup scoring list. And England are through to the round of 16. And somewhere in Ghana, Nana Kwaku Bonsam is watching and smiling. Let me take you back to the beginning, because this story has been building for weeks. Before England played Ghana in the group stage, Bonsam announced to the world that he was working on Harry Kane. He said he would stop him from scoring. He said it was spiritual. He said no doctor could cure what he was going to do. And then England played Ghana, and Kane missed a 6-yard open goal. The miss that broke the internet. England drew 0-0, and Bonsam declared victory on Facebook, and then said something that made the whole world laugh. "Harry, I will come and visit you, okay? We are brothers. I love you so much." And then he announced he was lifting the curse. Kane would be free to score again. And in the very next match against Panama, Kane scored. And today against Dr. Congo, Kane scored twice. Now let me tell you what actually happened in Atlanta today, because it was not straightforward. Dr. Congo came into this match as massive underdogs, but nobody told them that. They started the game with incredible energy and intensity, pressing England high and winning the ball back quickly. And in the first half, they went ahead. Brian Sipenga scored for Dr. Congo, their first World Cup knockout goal, and England were stunned. A nation playing in their first ever World Cup knockout match had just taken the lead against one of the tournament favorites. The atmosphere in Atlanta was electric. Dr. Congo fans in the stands were celebrating like they had already won. And for a long time, it looked like they might. England struggled to break them down. Jude Bellingham had a header saved off the line. Kane was flagged for diving when he went down in the box. VAR confirmed no penalty. And England were running out of ideas. And then the second half arrived. And Kane happened. Anthony Gordon chipped a ball into the 6-yard box. And Kane got his head on the end of it. Equalizer. 1 each. And the momentum shifted completely. England were now in control. And with just 4 minutes remaining, Gordon played another ball to Kane on the right side of the box, and Kane hit a fantastic right-footed shot into the top right corner. 2-1 to England. The stadium erupted. England were through, and Kane had done it again. 2 goals. His 12th and 13th World Cup goals in total, passing Pele on the all-time World Cup scoring list. Now I know what you are thinking. Is this really about Bonsam? Is this really about a curse being lifted? And the honest answer is no. Kane is one of the best strikers in the world. He was always going to score eventually. But here is what makes this story so compelling. Bonsam specifically said he was releasing Kane. Bonsam specifically said Kane would score in his next match. And in the very next match, Kane scored against Panama. And in the match after that, he scored twice against Dr. Congo and passed Pele. The timing is simply too perfect to ignore. Whether you believe in juju or not, whether you think Bonsam is a genius or a fraud, you cannot argue with what happened. He said Kane would score, and Kane scored. Twice. Let me just put Kane's numbers in front of you because they are remarkable. Panama match, 1 goal. Dr. Congo match, 2 goals. 3 World Cup goals in 2 matches since the curse was lifted. Before the curse was lifted against Ghana, 0 goals. Kane is now England's all-time World Cup scorer. He is also now ahead of Pele on the all-time World Cup scoring list with 13 goals. Only Messi with 18 and Klose with 16 are ahead of him. And England still have at least 3 more matches to play if they go all the way. Kane could end this tournament as the 2nd highest World Cup scorer of all time. The only man who would be ahead of him, Lionel Messi, the man who the same witch doctor has now cursed. England are through to the round of 16. They will face Mexico next, a co-host nation playing in front of their own fans. It will not be easy, but England right now look like a genuine contender. Kane is in form. Bellingham has been excellent throughout the tournament. The defense has been solid for the most part, and Tuchel is getting more out of this squad with every passing match. The Ghana performance where they drew 0-0 was the low point. Everything since then has been better. And if Kane continues at this rate, England could be looking at something special. But before we move on, I want to say something about Dr. Congo. Because this tournament has been a dream for them, they qualified for the first time in their history. They scored their first ever World Cup goal. They drew with Portugal. They beat Uzbekistan to reach the knockout stage. And today, they took the lead against England in Atlanta, in front of a global audience, before eventually losing 2-1. That is not a failure. That is a beginning. A country of over 100 million people playing their first ever World Cup knockout match and leading England with 30 minutes to go. Their fans will remember this tournament for decades. And the players who are on that pitch today in Atlanta have given their country something to build on. Here is where we are. Nana Kwaku Bonsam put a curse on Harry Kane. Kane missed an open goal. Bonsam lifted the curse. Kane scored 3 goals in 2 matches and passed Pele on the all-time World Cup scoring list. And now Bonsam has cursed Messi, the man with 18 World Cup goals, the greatest player who ever lived. And somewhere in Argentina, Messi is preparing for his next match, not knowing, or maybe knowing, what Bonsam has planned. Because there is something in this story that nobody can fully explain. Bonsam said Kane was cursed. Kane could not score. Bonsam lifted the curse. Kane scored 3 goals in 2 matches. Whether that is coincidence or something else entirely, nobody can say for certain. But the pattern is there. And now think about this. This man has done it before. In 2014, he targeted Ronaldo. Ronaldo showed up injured. Then he targeted Kane. Kane could not score. He lifted the curse. Kane scored 3 goals. And now Messi, with 18 goals, the greatest World Cup scorer of all time. And Bonsam says he will not score again in this World Cup. Now think about what happens either way. If Bonsam is wrong, if Messi scores, nobody takes him seriously anymore. But if Bonsam is right, if Messi does not score against Cape Verde, if Argentina's journey ends in an unexpected way, then this story goes far beyond football. Then the world starts genuinely asking, what does this man know? And nobody can answer that, because football is not always something you can explain. Sometimes an open goal from 6 yards gets sent into the stands. Sometimes a curse gets lifted and the same player scores 3 goals in 2 matches. Sometimes what a man does in a shrine becomes the thing the entire world is talking about. England are through to the round of 16. Harry Kane, 13 World Cup goals. Pele has been passed. And Nana Kwaku Bonsam is sitting in his shrine in Ghana, waiting for Messi. The most fascinating subplot of the 2026 World Cup is only just getting started. That is all.